What up, everybody? Welcome to Real Estate Informed, the channel that keeps you up to date on all things real estate. My name is Kevin, and today I'm going to be talking about, is it a good time to buy a house now, since we're kind of like semi-post pandemic and people states are opening up businesses? Is it a good time to buy? Is it not? We'll find out. First thing that you really want to look at is your market. Real estate is a very market sensitive business. And what I mean by that is when there's a real estate crash, when there's something that happens, markets like San Francisco, Seattle, the hot markets, New York, they get at the top of the market, the house might be $1 million. And at the bottom of the market, the house might be $500,000. So that's like a 50% drop. Markets that are hotter always see that. But in the same scenario, in the same time frame, the peak of the market, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, 2.5-bath house in Missouri would probably be $350,000 at the peak of the market. But at the bottom of the market, it might be $300,000. That's only a $50,000 gain or loss. So it's very important to understand that everything is market sensitive. So my answer to this, as in to should you buy a house right now, is very market sensitive. So I'm just going to give you some general guidelines to follow, or not guidelines to follow, but like general ideas that I think that's going to happen in real estate and that it'll happen in your market. So the first guideline I want you to follow is look at what home prices were in 2011. Once again, this is market sensitive again. San Francisco was a different bottom than Seattle. In Seattle, our bottom was 2011. I believe San Francisco was 2010. Every state is different. Every major metropolitan city is different. So in Missouri, Kansas, it might have been, the bottom might have been different. The bottom might have came sooner or later. So know what the bottom of the market was in your state. Look at what the price of a house was then, and look at what the price of a house is now. Then what you do is you gauge the market trend, as in all the houses that are going to sell within the next month or two. See if houses are on the market and they're not being sold. And there might be some sellers out there that don't want to lower the price. That'll happen. But you have to understand that houses are going to go on the market and might not see a price change or a price decrease for 2 months. So we're just entering into this post-pandemic where all the states are opening up. So patience is the key. But every market, gauge the properties that are hitting the market and see, are there any price reductions? That's your first marker of like, hey, maybe I should jump in now, things are starting to drop. The second thing I want you to really look out for is to not to gauge where the bottom of the market is. A perfect example of that is in Seattle. Real estate, obviously, we all know what happened in September 2008. Lehman Brothers fell. The real estate market kind of declined. But you have to understand that we were actually on like a decline, like 1% decline, 2% decline. We were actually at a 1% or 2% decline since 2005. Some prices were rising, but it was kind of holding steady and kind of declining at the same time. And then from 2008 to 2011, it took 3 years for us to kind of hit bottom. Now, in that time, if you were standing there trying to, time the market to be like, oh, if I buy a house now, it can't decrease anymore, you would have missed out on 3 years of buying. So my advice to you is just try to see when there's a drop. Because right when you see the drop, right when you see houses stand on the market, this is for any market, is you see your houses on the market, you see price decreases, you start to see a little bit of short sales, because you'll see a lot more short sales before the foreclosures come in. So when you start seeing that, you'll really know. The next thing I want you to look at is, I kind of said it in the last guideline to follow, is short sales. When you start seeing a lot of short sales coming up, then it kind of gives you a gauge of, okay, the market's shifting, we're kind of going in. And then here's another thing that I want you to know. Have patience, because these short sales and these foreclosures are not going to come tomorrow, are not going to come in a week. It might take, depending on your market again, it might take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, because now with the stimulus plans and whatnot, they're talking about they might do 3-month forbearance, they might do a year's worth of forbearance, and banks might have to put that forbearance, all that money that they owe, they might have to refinance the loan, do a loan modification, or they might have to just add that money to the end of the loan. We don't know what this new stimulus that they're going to bring in, what are the guidelines going to be. They're working on it right now. I believe it passed the House. Republicans, Democrats, whatever you are, they're fighting it in the Senate, I believe. Whatever the case is, whether it's 3 months forbearance or a year forbearance, you should know that it's coming. We just don't know when. And the reason I know it's coming is because there was an article that said that 42% of the people who are being laid off will go back to work. So that gives you a 58% people that are going to be unemployed. So just overall in the market, which another guideline that it's not a guideline, but it's just something that I see in the real estate market is that, first of all, things don't fall immediately. It doesn't happen like that. You have to understand it takes 30 to 60 days to close on a house. So if the media and everyone's portraying that, oh, we're still doing closings, we're still selling houses, we're still doing this, we're still doing that, that's because of 60 days prior, someone had bought in a house and they closed today. Do you understand what I mean? And so 60 days ago, this wasn't what it is now. And it's not going to be the same 60 days from now. So in order to market those, in order to see those numbers of like housing declines, not enough listings, this and that, everything is market specific. But my goal to you would be to like look out for it, watch the market very carefully. And I don't mean watch it for a day, and I don't mean watch it for a month. I'm talking about watch it for the next 6 months closely. Look at houses in your neighborhood that are selling. Are there any price decreases? If not, call the agent up and be like, hey, you listed this 5 years ago. Have you gotten any offers? No? Okay, great. That's it. Just to gauge the market, see how many offers are being put in on a place. When you gauge that market and you see, and you have to do it for yourself, because obviously if you're working with a real estate agent, there's a lot of great real estate agents. I'm also a real estate agent, but there are real estate agents out there that are just like, it's a great time to buy. You should buy right now. Da, 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 da. And it's like they're not doing the research. And if they are, and if they do know something that's on a decline, they want the commission. So they're just going to keep encouraging you to buy. I'm here to tell you the truth about what I'm doing, because I'm a real estate investor. I'm a property manager. I own a property management company. I own a real estate company. I do real estate sales. I also rehab and flip, invest. I also do the Burr model. If you guys know about that, I think I made a video about the Burr model. It's just a specific type of real estate investing. But yeah, so, my answer would be to watch your market very closely, see what it did when the recession happened before, and see what it's doing now, and gauge it. Gauge the short sales, gauge the foreclosures, see if there's, and you're not going to see those now, but what you can do now is when houses are coming up on the market every weekend, they usually list them on Thursday and Friday. Wait till Monday, and on Monday call up and be like, hey, if they got 15 offers, that means the market's still hot. Your market, your local region may be hot, but that in Seattle, we might still be getting 15 offers a day in one day on a house. But in Missouri, you might not get that. So it's very dependent upon your market. Another thing that I'm following really closely is the forbearance for loans, which is already at, I believe, 15%. And they say June is going to increase to close to 20%. So if you're at 20%, think about it. That's 1 in every 5 houses in your neighborhood is in forbearance, which means that they were not able to pay their rent, pay their mortgage, and now they're in forbearance, which means they're not going to go to foreclosure. It just means that they're in forbearance. But think about that. Another thing is that I'm closely monitoring is unemployment. There was a federal $600 unemployment that was given to people, and plus unemployment from their state, but federally it was $600. So $600 plus whatever your state gives you. Sometimes it was $400 something, and then you could get $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month. And sometimes it was like $100. It depended on your state, what state you were from, and their rules and guidelines, whatever. But I'm following that very closely because it's set to end July. At the end, last week of July is the last $600 you can get for unemployment federally. Now, this next stimulus, if they continue it and they take it into January of next year, or I think I heard rumors about 33 weeks, like 33 more weeks of $600 a month. My opinion is if it extends to that point, then where people are getting $600 a week plus their state unemployment, we're not going to see foreclosures because people are you're getting, let's just say you get $1,000 a month, you're getting $4,000 a year. I'm sorry, $4,000 a month, $48,000 a year of unemployment. You could cover your mortgage no matter if you're in forbearance or not. You can cover your mortgage. So even in expensive states like Washington and California, that's more than enough money. But my goal, my whole thing that I'm seeing is our state's going to run out of unemployment money? Is that 600 money just going to run out? We've seen it in other areas of where they were the SBA was trying to help small businesses, and they ran out of money. They were going to give people $10,000 grants, businesses $10,000 grants. They lowered it down to $1,000 per employee. It's because they ran out of money and they had to get refunded. The same thing might happen with unemployment. If that happens, trust me, start looking for them foreclosures, because it takes 90 days to foreclose on a house, depending on your state, but it typically takes 90 days to foreclose on a house. So if you see a house that, is in mortgage forbearance, right? 3 months of mortgage forbearance plus 3 months to foreclose on it, right? That's 6 months. And that is from what I would count, or what I'm gauging is, I would count that from July, because that's when the unemployment ends. So you're talking from July, 3 months plus 3 months of, the mortgage forbearance is already happening. So from July, I would count 3 months is when you're going to start seeing foreclosures. Now, that's only if they stop the $600 federal unemployment. If they continue that, then I don't see foreclosures happening. I think this market is going to continue it's going to be one of those, yeah, we're in a recession, but it's taking like 3 years to get to the point where home prices have fallen to a degree where it's like a deal. You know what I mean? So that's something to gauge, and that's something that I'm gauging. If you like my content, please thumbs it up and please subscribe, as it helps my channel a lot. I have great content on my videos. Please check out my other videos. Also, leave any questions real estate related down below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. And let's just have a conversation. I love this. I love when people are engaging and I get questions, and I love the back and forth, because it just helps us all. It doesn't have to be negative or whatnot. I just love the whole oh, my market's doing this, my market's doing that, because if we all get informed, when someone in Kentucky tells us what's happening in his market, we tell him what's happening in San Francisco and Seattle. We all learn and we all dictate. He might see something in the San Francisco market that he knows, oh, it might be coming to my market. I might see something in a Missouri or Kentucky market that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. You know what I mean? So we all learn and we all grow. Thanks, guys, for watching my video. If you have a question, leave it below and I'll answer it on my next video. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.